everybody.
It's Shannon
And Claudia.
with Real Talk. How are you doing?
Today we are going to speak about something very interesting for many people, for others not so much. We are talking about HOAs.
The three-letter word, the three dreaded letters. And it's either good or it's not. So you have to figure out if you like it. And if it's good for you, then great. And if it isn't, that's okay too. But everybody has an opinion. And we just kind of wanted to go over what the HOA goes over and what it does to help you or to not help you. So I don't live in an HOA.
I do.
Yeah, and we both have an opinion. And ironically, I love an HOA and
I'm not the biggest fan.
So I feel like that comes from a good place, is that we both kind of have our own opinion, and there's a bunch of trucks going in the background. Okay, so
Okay.
Hold on. So when we're talking about the pros of an HOA, the biggest pro to me is that it helps keep home values up. That's true, whether you want to agree with it or not, whether you have an opinion on that or not. It is a proven fact that if you're in a development that has an HOA, that it does protect property values by keeping your neighbors from, allowing their house to go into disarray, from parking their car in their front yard. It keeps them from painting their house bright red. But as you said earlier,
what if I want to paint my house bright red? What do you have to have an opinion about
you
that?
can't, because your neighbor's house being
can't.
bright red or bright purple will affect your property value, whether you think so or not. Your neighbor having a just absolute hoarding situation in their front yard will affect your property value. So that's the good thing with an HOA.
Another pro for that is you do have amenities. Me, that I'm a tennis player, we have tennis courts. Normally other amenities include swimming pools or playgrounds for the kids.
Walking paths.
Walking paths.
The front entrances with the flowers and everything.
The Christmas decorations.
Right. Whether or not you can do them, whether or not you can have them, whether they're going to do some for you. All of those things come into play. And then the cons.
The cons.
Here's the one that most people don't know. You have to be able to qualify to buy your home with the HOA fee. And a lot of people think it's only $100 a month. So $100 a month, let's say you're qualifying to buy a house that's $250. If it has an HOA fee that is $100 a month and you can barely qualify for $250, then you might really only be able to buy a house that's $225 or $230 with $100 a month HOA. So you've got to really be careful with that, because let's say your house payment was going to be $1,200 and you have $100 a month HOA. Now you've got to qualify for $1,300,
which is almost 10% increase.
Right. And so that's a big deal when you're thinking about all the people that are in the first-time home buyer. They're all really concerned about that number. The loan officer will call me and say, this is the property you want to put an offer on. Does it have an HOA? And I have to be able to say yes or no.
Another restrictions, and there I can speak about. HOA puts a lot of guidelines and rules about what you can and what you cannot do outside of your house. You want to build a fence, you want to build a deck, you want to change something existing, you want to paint your house bright red.
Can't do it. You have to have architectural approval for anything like that that's outside.
Which is still understandable, but, and here's the thing that really bugs me. You ask for a permit, and I have asked for a permit to build a deck. Average time in my HOA to get a permit approved is about 4 to 5 months. So if you want to build something in May, ask for it the year before.
And we're not talking about the permit with the county. We're talking about the architectural approval through the Homeowners Association. You have to be able to submit drawings, pictures of what the fence or the deck is going to look like, what materials is it going to be made out of, what color is it, how big is it, how tall is it, where's it going to be installed, who's installing it, is it a Class A contractor, or are you and your family trying to put this deck up yourself? And then you still have to go through all that same paperwork with the county. So just keep in mind.
No, those are architectural permits. It's not something you draw up on your computer or weekend, right?
Yeah.
So that's an extra payment you have to do.
Right. So you've got to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row if you live in a HOA. One of the other things, the common rules that pretty much all HOA has is fences, architectural, which includes your sheds, what color shingles, what color the outside of your house is. But there's smaller rules that just irritate people, like whether or not you're allowed to park your car on the street overnight. That really bugs some people. Whether or not you can leave your trash cans out. Claudia has gotten a letter like 2 months in a row because
No. I got 3 letters in the last 3 weeks about me having my trash open to the view, which might disturb other people. My trash bins are not outside.
So she's getting a letter
Disturbing
from
news.
the same number but on a different street. She's getting a letter for them, and it's not her property that she's gone back to the HOA.
Gotta love
And
my HOA.
she thought about making a TikTok to them, but her husband dissuaded her from
He
doing
told me not to be aggressive.
So we hope that helps. If you're thinking about an HOA, keep in mind you've got to finance it in, and some people don't like it because it is paid outside and separate of your mortgage payment. So you know how your taxes and your insurance are paid through your mortgage payment, your HOA fee is not. So you got to write a separate check and you got to make sure that you pay it. They also have rules like whether or not it's a restricted subdivision, like 55 and older age restriction, whether or not you can have a flag. There's all kinds of ones that you have to read through. So you want to make sure that you and your agent have gone over that and how it will affect you. Whether or not you can have chickens. We went over that last time. So even though the county says you can, even though the county says you can have chickens, your HOA might say that you cannot.
No.
So keep that in mind.
Okay.
This has been Real Talk with Shannon
And Claudia.
We'll see you next time.